Namaskar, I am Anubhav Ranjan and you are watching Ritam. Today we are addressing a grave issue that concerns not just India but also global diplomatic stability. Gurpatwant Singh Pannun, the US-backed Sikh separatist and leader of the banned outfit Sikhs for Justice, has released another video issuing direct threats against India, Russia and their diplomats. These threats made on US soil raise serious questions about America's stance on terrorism and its selective silence on allowing such outfits to operate freely. In this latest video, Pannu threatened attacks on Russian diplomats and missions worldwide, accusing Russia of sharing intelligence with India about Sikh separatist activities in North America and Europe. Pannu also targeted Indian ambassador to the US, Vinay Mohan Kwatra, calling him the face of the India-Russia terror nexus and alleging that he is coordinating efforts to suppress his movements. Pannu even announced a $25,000 reward for tracking down Ambassador Kwatra and Russian Ambassador Oleg V. Stepanov. The timing of these threats is significant. As India and Russia strengthening their ties, Pannu and the SFJ appear to be acting as proxies for forces unhappy with this partnership. These separatists, supported indirectly or otherwise by Western nations like the US, are being used to destabilize India. Upon this, Russian news outlets have responded by trolling Pannu and the SFJ. But the question arises that why is the US, which claims to be against terrorism, providing a haven for such outfits? Despite India presenting ample evidence of Pannun's anti-India activities, the US has taken no meaningful action against him or SFJ. Not only is SFJ targeting India, but it has now extended its threats to Russia, accusing Russian media houses like Sputnik India and RT India of running disinformation campaigns against the so-called Khalistan. The Russian embassy in Canada has outrightly dismissed these baseless allegations and condemned SFJ's reward offer for tracking diplomats. In a strong statement, the Russian embassy termed such actions as steps forward planning terrorist acts and has urged Canadian authorities to take immediate action under international conventions. This entire saga reveals a troubling pattern. SFJ's increasing hostility comes at a time when India is solidifying its position on the global stage, aligning closely with Russia and its allies. This growing proximity seems to unsettle the US, which views India's independent foreign policy and partnership with Russia as a challenge to its influence. By using groups like SFJ, the US seems to be covertly enabling destabilization efforts against India. But why is SFJ targeting India so aggressively? The answer lies in their inability to accept a strong, united and globally influential India. By pushing a divisive Khalistan agenda, they aim to fracture India's social fabric. Russia, as a trusted ally of India, must take a firmer stand against SFJ and similar separatist movements. It is not just an Indian issue but a global one that threatens diplomatic norms and international security. The hypocrisy of the US must also be questioned. On one hand, it claims to lead the fight against global terrorism, yet on the other hand, it provides a free operating base for outfits like SFJ on its soil. Pannu's threats have not only endangered Indian and Russian diplomats, but also exposed the glaring double standards in America's foreign policy. As India and Russia continue to strengthen their partnership, the world must see through these desperate attempts by separatist groups and their enablers to disrupt global stability. It's high time for nations, especially the US, to act decisively against terrorism in all its forms and stop providing safe havens to those who threaten international peace. Under Biden's administration, things for the US have already gone apart, and now we have to see if the upcoming tenure of Donald Trump will bring something positive for India and will they take actions against SFJ or not. What do you think about these developments? Share your views in the comment. Jai Hind.